5 o'clock, the Eldridge Electric and Water Utility Board meeting for January 28th, 2025. Roll call, please.
Peterson,
Present.
Gooding,
Present.
Patovich,
Present.
Hamilton,
Present.
Brisley.
Here. Okay, next item on the agenda, public comment. Public comments, no? All right. Number 3, approval of the agenda. Has everybody had a chance to take a look? Any questions? By your motion?
Motion.
Motion by Peterson. Second by Hamilton. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Nays? Ayes have it. Okay, moving on, number 4. Approval of the utility board meeting minutes from January 14th, 2025. Questions? Motion by Patovich,
Second.
second by Peterson. Favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Nays? Ayes have it. Okay, number 5, financial and administration. A, consideration to approve the bills payable. Everybody had a chance to take a look. Any questions? Anything stand out? Further clarification?
Nothing here. I don't remember. Anybody?
I just had one question that I got answered already, so motion to approve.
Motion.
Motion by Patovich. Second by Hamilton. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Nays? Ayes have it. Moving on to 5B, discussion and consideration to change the date for the March 25th, 2025 utility board meeting to ensure a quorum. I know that falls in the spring break as we had scheduled right now, so we're looking to either push it up or push it back as the proposal to the 25th.
Yes, so I know we talked about both of the dates. March 4th, though, we've got scheduled public hearing, because the project will be going up to bid, so we'll have to keep that one the same. And I think you're gone the 4th, but we should have quorum.
Yeah, I think everybody should be here.
Everyone, okay. So that we would just be moving the March 18th meeting, so it could go to March 11th or March 25th. I know you're gone the 11th and Jeff's gone the 25th, so unless.
Be here 25th, we don't leave until the 28th.
Oh, okay.
I was just checking it.
Yeah, let's do the 25th.
I was gonna say it's spring break, I might be gone too as well, so. Yeah, 25th should work. Anybody else have anything on that?
No. Motion.
Okay, so motion to change the March date to the 25th. Do I hear, or motion by Peterson, do I hear a second?
Second.
Second by Patovich. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Nays? Ayes have it. Okay, and then Nevada, any updates that you can share with us?
Just a few quick updates. I did send out the fiscal year 24 audit report, so if anybody has any questions on that after the review, let me know. Or if you want me to put that as an agenda item to discuss it, we can do that as well. Otherwise, you can just keep a copy. And I think there's hard copies there for you too that the auditors dropped off, so you can each take a copy with you.
Oh, okay.
The training with the city attorney and the other board and council members is tomorrow at 4:30 at the Scott County Library and Meeting Room B. We'll be done for sure by 6 p.m. Probably 5:30, 5:45.
I will not be able to make it.
Thought I saw that on there. What, there should be a recording available afterwards and some material, so I can send that out to you.
So. Work calls.
There is a meeting scheduled next week. You'll have another board meeting, so for February 4th, so we'll be back to back these next 2 weeks. Budget will be on the February 4th agenda and the February 18th agenda to go over your electric and water budget. Once you guys have approved that, it'll have to go in front of council still to make it to the state for certification by April. Letty Goslowski was officially sworn in as the city clerk yesterday. Martha's done on Friday, but Letty was sworn in as the clerk yesterday, so she'll be signing checks, taking care of all the financials and transfers. If you have any questions about finances, you can reach out to her. And I think that's it.
All right,
Thank you.
thank you.
I know on the 4th, I'll probably have to call in on that one. But if we get that stuff, I can look over and let you guys know if there's any questions. Yeah, for the budget, so.
Perfect.
Is it easier to call in or, when the owl's going, we can send you a Teams link too, so you can see it, and then if you.
It depends where I'm at for games, because a lot of time, like, I know Abby's been calling me for them, so I mute. But sometimes it cuts out, just depending what kind of gym we're in and stuff like that, and how many people are there.
Okay,
So,
you can just let us know, whichever, if you want a link or,
but yeah, you
All
could
three
do,
whichever
we could try that too.
that way you'll be able to see them. Won't matter either way to us, so just whatever's easier
Okay.
for you.
Going on to number 6A outages for the electric department. Anything?
No outages. The department update from Colin. Colin will be attending the IAMU Leadership Conference, from January 15th to 17th in Ankeny. Or he did attend, sorry. The crew completed the 2025 IUB overhead and underground distribution inspections, minimal corrections found, that needed to be made, and they have also been working on vehicle maintenance with the cold weather. They've been going through those.
Okay. Thanks. Moving on to number 7, our department, 7A, water main breaks. Well, we saw one yesterday.
We had the one on Fifth and Sheridan, 414 West Sheridan. The valves that we had to shut down were gonna affect the junior high. So talking to the superintendent, Joe Studding, we were able to work out a time where we could best shut that down without having to close any of the schools. Because the junior high supplies 2 other elementaries with food. So we worked out that the afternoon was best, so 12 was kind of the window that we got, so I think we dug everything up, had it all exposed, ready for everything to shut down. So then by 12:15, shut it down, and then by 12:55, we had repaired and started filling back in. We're all good back and running.
Excellent job. And I think I saw the losses on it was how many gallons? 8?
I would correctly estimate 80,000, because it wasn't blasting out of the ground,
Yeah,
but it was continuous, because we left it charged, so we shut down 4 valves, and we had one that we were using as a throttle. So we left it live until the junior high was done cooking, and then there was lunchtime, and then we used that one to shut it down, so just rough estimate, it was probably about 80,000 gallons.
yeah, okay. Yeah, it was still bubbling. It wasn't blasting, it was just bubbling when I drove by it.
And it was only, I didn't take great pictures of it, but there was like a little header line break just vertically, and it was leaking out, but it wasn't, yeah, it definitely was not blasting out of the ground, so not the worst one.
Great job coordinating with the school system and,
That's Nevada helped me with that, she got me Joe's number, and Joe was easy to work with, so it was definitely a big team effort. Definitely, I have to also say thanks to Public Works and Electric Department, those guys always step up and help us out a lot, so it makes everything go really smoothly.
excellent, excellent. Okay. And that's the only one we've had so far this
That
year?
is the only other one we've had.
Oh, this winter.
Yes,
So,
yeah.
yeah, let's not jinx ourselves, but we've been lucky. First one.
Okay. All right, next item, 7B, update from Lenny Larson with ISG. Welcome, Lenny.
Yeah.
Interrupt real quick. I can get one of those packets quick? Yep. Not that I don't wanna hear you.
There's the letters on top. Everything up to the spiral will be hers. Yep, all 3.
You got it organized, don't you?
Thank you, Sadie.
Bye,
All
guys.
Bye.
See ya.
First big thing is, as you can see, I'll start off with the tower. We're gonna be setting the dates for the bid lettings. They kind of go through, has some photos of some different mock-ups we did. Keegan did help out a little bit with providing some feedback on what to throw on there. Really what we'd be looking for at this time for the bidding is, do you want the stem painted or do you want it to keep the stem white? And then do you want would you like a logo on the sides or not? What we'll do is we'll provide them what we think it's gonna be so you can get the cost when they bid it, because if we change the font, that's not gonna really affect the price. We change the color, it's not going to really affect the price. So just wanting to understand what the magnitude is as far as what's white and what's darker color on the tower. And then we'll put that in the plans, and then we can work on at a later date to figure out the exact logo before they start painting the tower. So really what they want to know is what the scope of the tower logo will be, and that can be finalized at a later date on the exact specifics of it. What we have in there is a couple we did forest green, trying to match what city coloring is with a darker green, of course. And then, we had an option where you could do the Elbridge on the north and south side of the tower, and then do like the school logo on the, I want to say the west side of the tower, facing Highway 61. And then the other one that we did was charcoal gray. And that's kind of to try and match up with what the school colors are here in town as much as we can. Really, you can do the dark stem. Communities do that. It will fade. I will just state that stem will fade over time. There's nothing that you can do to prevent fading of paint coloring, but a lot of communities either do the full stem all the way down, or they'll do a white stem, and then they'll do the dark bowl. And that's really just, like I said beforehand, is to cover that mildew and the back, or the mold that grows on the bottom of the tower, on the exterior of the tower, and then do the white top. It is what we were thinking. So, you don't have to make the decision tonight. I still have some time to put that into the bid plans, but, just wanted to get those over to all of you, just so you can start taking a look. And if you have any feedback or any other ideas that you'd like to see, we can get those incorporated. But, just wanted to kind of walk you through that. For setting the dates, we're gonna bid it in as two alternatives, one to complete this spring and one to complete next spring. Talking with Keegan, we want to stay out of the summertime, just because the peak usage is through August and July and mid-September, probably not all of September, but a portion of September. So in order to evaluate, we do know that there's tower coders out there that are still looking for work, but we don't know what price they'll give us, wanting to get it done by June 30th, before the 4th of July. So I figured we can have it set up, because the tower could last till next year. You're not gonna have any damage that occurs to the tower by waiting another year. We can get the pricing locked in, and then the board can decide whether, if bids come in, they can come in at the same price. I don't know that answer. I wish I did. But if they come in and this year's really high and next year's more reasonable, you can always take the lower cost over getting it done this year. Or if you really want to get it done this year, you can always opt to go for the higher bid, if it were higher for this year. So it gives the board some flexibility in what decision they want to make there. But both of them would be set that they start. They have 13 weeks to complete the project. No stopping during those 13 weeks, and then they have to be done by June 30th to get it done before the 4th of July, so it's back in service. So they may still have some touch-up items to do at the tower after we put it back in service, but at least have the tower back in service by June 30th.
What constitutes a weather day for that 13 weeks?
That, rain, heavy rain, or if we happen to get a really hot day, that could, if it's too hot, then you will have
That could extend that 13 weeks.
potentially, but 13 weeks should be more than enough time. We estimated to do it if they were working continuously, 10 to 11 weeks. That 13 weeks is to account for some weather days and everything. So, that's our thoughts there. Now, if it went an extra week, I'm sure we would survive, but I'm gonna ignore that until that day comes. But we'll make sure that the contractor will have, monthly meetings and potentially weekly meetings, depending on how things are going when construction starts. And then there will be, KLM will be there doing on-site inspection, during surface prep and paint.
And when is the drop dead date for knowing what we want as far as the paint scheme?
The drop dead date, probably mid-February. I'll shoot that over to you, the exact day that is, but mid-February is what I would imagine is what we need. It bids the 27th
Okay,
of February, so we'd want to probably get that incorporated no later than 7 days before the bid, so the 20th would be the latest that we'd want to get that incorporated. If not, what I'll do is I'll include one of the options there just to give them an idea, or I could do an allowance is the other route I can go if that came to it. But
I'm just trying to gauge if we need to have a decision by the February 4th meeting, or just, we don't put you,
Yeah.
scrambling at the last minute to make changes, but, I guess we can have a decision by the next meeting, might be beneficial for you guys.
Yeah, yeah, and like I said, it doesn't have to be the exact logo and everything, but just really the mock-up of what it will look like as far as what portions are getting painted. What, so white versus a color. And then if you're gonna have the school logo on the side, because that will add additional costs. Having Eldridge, doesn't matter what script you go with, just knowing that we're gonna have Eldridge on both sides of the tower, that won't change, so.
Okay, and then like you said, as far as the moss or the mold, is there a color of paint that hides it better than the others that you've seen?
Darker colors.
Just anything?
Yeah, so like the charcoal gray, a navy blue, a forest green, colors of that nature are ones that hide it better. I wouldn't go with red because that fades really badly.
Yeah,
Those brighter colors will fade a lot more.
okay,
With your logo being more line work than it is an actual solid, logo, the red won't hurt it at all as much as if it was a solid red symbol.
Well, I get you. Cause I was looking at the logo and it's red, it's like,
Yeah, but it's just line work, so it will fade, but it won't fade, it won't be as noticeable that whole logo is solid red.
okay.
For the water system, I'm going to get a meeting set up here in the next few weeks with, the city and city staff to talk popular demand, projections to kind of give you an idea. I was looking through our memo earlier today and like for the south area for the industrial, if you were to develop that all industrial and it plays out to what projections should say it could, we use industry projections, not knowing exactly what it is, so we zoned it based on heavy industrial versus light industrial. Light industrial will be 5,000 gallons per day per acre is what you project. Heavy industrial is 10,000. If it's a data center, which I am aware that data centers have been inquiring with the city of Eldridge, that would be 20,000 gallons per acre. They're a little higher user for water. But if we did it just based off the 5 and 10, it's roughly 11 million gallons per day. Of added, just to kind of give you an idea of what that could look like. Your current plan is rated for,
1.8.
yeah, I was gonna say one, around 2, so just shy of 2.
Oh, sure.
Just a bit outside.
So, we're kind of refining that to kind of see if there's any other ways we can look at it. And then at Iowa Rural Water Association, which is February 11th and 12th. That's in Des Moines. We're going to meet with, Iowa American Water to talk about, backup connection, emergency backup connection, and then, see if there would be any interest in discussing with the city, if there would be like a split of land down there, if the city didn't want to take on all that industrial development that would go down there for water service specifically, not giving up the land, but, Iowa American Water providing water. And for those higher industrial users is what I would imagine that would be for.
Mhm.
And then one option we have to look at, because the DNR will require us, is if the city were to just abandon their water system and just connect to Iowa American Water, knowing that's not the route you want to go or potentially want to go, it's just something we do have to evaluate as part of the report.
Sure. Yeah, and hate to see the cost of having to upgrade to meet that type of capacity, so.
We wouldn't do it all in one full swift. It would be a phased approach where you'd build for, let's say, 2 million gallons per day. And then if you have another user that wants to hook on and you need to add on, you'd phase it such that you could expand pretty easily. 11 million gallons per day is probably something that wouldn't be planned for at this time. That would just be a number that if it were to build out completely, that's what it could be. Just to kind of have a goal at the end of the tunnel there. But, and then the other item I wanted to let you know is we talked about those few items that we recommended that the city should prioritize, such as, getting the clear oil so it doesn't short circuit, the chemical feed system, getting the chlorine gas feed system so it's all contained within the chlorine room rather than in the treatment room too. And there was a few other items. We're working on finalizing those cost estimates. We're just waiting on a few costs from some of the suppliers, that are providing the equipment and material. for those projects, and then I should have those over to you, if not the next meeting, the second meeting in February with no issue.
Okay,
That's all I have.
all right, thanks, Lenny.
Thank you.
Okay, moving on to seven C, consideration to approve resolution 2025-02, setting a public hearing date to review plans and specifications for the proposed 16th Avenue Water Tower Reconditioning Project. Are there any questions anybody has on that, or do we hear a motion to go ahead and approve the resolution setting the hearing date?
So Nevada, you'll be setting out a date for that then?
Yep, that's in the resolution. The resolution is establishing the public hearing date of March 4th, to have the contract awarded and to approve the plans and specs. And it's also approving the bid date, which is February 27th. So it's allowing us, the city clerk will collect the bids as they come in. I assume Lenny will be here to open them and to go through and make sure that they've got everything they need for that bid proposal to be complete. And then he'll do a bid tabulation for all of those. And then at the March 4th meeting, you'll have that information and recommendation to award that contract for the project.
Okay,
One thing I forgot to mention is I'll have an updated cost estimate to you for your next meeting next week for the tower reconditioning of what we're estimating the cost of the tower reconditioning to be.
Any ballpark? As far as where it was before?
Don't remember exactly where it was before, so I'm afraid to say the wrong number. I wanna say it was between 600,000 and 800,000.
Okay, that's not too far off.
Yeah.
I think from where it
And
was
was that
originally. Yeah.
What we were looking at for that 0%.
So the 0% was for the
engineering.
engineering,
Sorry. Yeah.
but
Okay.
recommendations off of that plan that engineering plan could roll that up into a construction loan to do one of the projects.
Yeah.
This one won't qualify for that.
No, they consider tower reconditioning maintenance, so they don't fund those
As
types of
new
projects unless it's
or-
included, part of a larger project,
Okay.
so. We looked at that. It's almost been a year, I think,
Mhm.
so.
Yeah, it's been a while, so I couldn't remember.
This project cost is budgeted into this fiscal year and will carry over to the next one if we end up going into fiscal year 26.
Yeah, I think I saw the calculation.
I think we've got 900.
That should cover it.
Okay,
All right.
do I hear a motion then to set the public hearing date, March 4th? Motion by Gooding,
Second,
second by Walters. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, nays, ayes have it. Okay, and then for that one, we need a roll call, right?
Yes.
Yep, okay.
Peterson,
Present.
Whittings, Patovich, Hamilton,
is it?
Bristly.
Aye. Okay, ayes have it. 7D. Discussion and possible consideration to approve the 16th Avenue Water Tower rehab design. Is everybody comfortable with making that decision tonight, or do we need to move that to next week?
You were referring to the colors?
Not necessarily the colors, right, but, I think the first definitive decision you guys would need to make is whether you're gonna paint that darker color on the bottom or all the way down the stem. And if you would be looking at including the logo for the schools, in addition to the Eldridge.
Okay, I think the charcoal would look good underneath there, just because of school, if we do the logo, because it's red and gray. But definitely the white, I like the white stem, white is timeless. You know? So.
So it's gray instead of the green?
That's green. Green. What do you think?
Yeah,
Hard to see in the photo.
I'm not a huge fan of painting it all the way down the green, because it will fade, does it get chalky too? Yeah, yeah, that looks,
So maybe the bowl in a gray with the school logo
yeah, if we went with that.
and then the white stem.
I'll send you a photo of the one in West Liberty, cause I gotta go back there tonight to my sister's, and I'll take a photo of their tower that was done 15 years ago or so, and it's faded pretty badly. They did, cause they're blue and white is their school colors. And so they did blue, the whole thing blue and then a white, stripe across the middle and put West Liberty in there. It looked really nice for the first 5 years, but it's faded pretty badly now. And Wilton did something similar where they painted theirs all yellow, and it's faded pretty badly. It was a brighter blue, but
Did you say Eldridge is gonna go on both sides?
North and south side.
north and south side is what I remember us talking
Okay.
about before, yep. A high traffic area, so.
Sure.
That would look sharp with the bowl being that dark gray, letters Eldridge being dark gray to match, and then the red logo.
I believe so too.
I'm not a forest green fan.
If it means anything, while we were getting the things ready, the office clerks were looking at it and they agreed very much that they liked the charcoal gray. They were not a fan of the green.
I think it looked nice, it's myself, I mean, do we wanna wait till next week meeting, or do we wanna make a decision on that tonight?
Doesn't matter to me.
Makes no difference to me.
I'm okay with kind of what we talked about, the gray bowl.
What's the price difference between adding, just to see, you know? Does it matter for painting, you know, the colors,
So the biggest price difference would be painting the stem a darker color, but that wouldn't be all that much. The biggest difference would be adding that logo on the side.
can we get that priced out?
Yeah, I would imagine that would be probably between 5,000 and 10,000, if I had to guess. But I'll get that number over to Nevada and then you can decide next meeting. That's not an issue at all.
Can it be an option in the bid?
Yeah, we could make
Yeah.
an option.
Then you could decide at that point,
Yeah.
not knowing what the bids are gonna come back at.
Cause I just,
Yep.
I mean, it's still, that's a chunk of change that, you know,
No, I
Cheap,
understand, I
but-
understand. So,
Unless the school wanted to pay for it.
yeah, I mean,
So, and I think
like,
the plan is to reach out.
like a
Well,
NASCAR.
but wanted to get that in front of the board just to make sure that there was some support for it before reaching out to the school and having that conversation, but that is the next step, that if there was some interest in putting that logo on there, we of course let the school know. They will be very excited, I would imagine, but I haven't had that conversation yet.
Either way, they'll be bidded out separate.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
yeah, we can do it as an adder. It's not an issue.
Right, then it's a decision, right? Well, do we want it or we don't? You know, I mean,
Or they're already gonna be up there doing the lettering and the Eldridge anyway, so
Sure.
for them, it's gonna be more work at one spot.
sure.
Yeah.
And I agree.
I might be a little high with my estimate actually, but
You are.
That'd be nice, you know, I just don't wanna,
I'm thinking about getting back in painting.
oh,
I just don't wanna you know,
Sure,
just say yes to something without knowing an exact number or get it close, or like putting it as an option and then we get the hard bid
we
on.
can do it as an adder.
Yeah,
The city can decide at that time, it's not an issue.
okay,
so we'll let 7D, then we'll, put that on next week's agenda.
The stem's staying white. Or gray.
The stem, I think we were talking about having white, and then the bowl would be gray.
So
Yeah.
green's gone.
Green.
That would be gray. So basically from here up would be gray,
Yes.
yeah,
green from the bottom of the green up.
Yeah,
Just
exactly.
like that picture.
just like that,
Would be gray.
whatever looks green there is gonna be gray.
Right.
Bottom third of the
Yeah.
floor is what you can think of is approximately what would be painted that dark color.
That's where all the mildew shows anyway, correct?
That underside where it runs down.
Okay, moving on to 7E. Keegan, can you give us any department updates you have?
Couple.
All right.
The fluoride tank, the bolt tank, that valve got repaired. ACO was actually down today. They vented the caustic tanks to the outside, so I think that was a itemless ISG for us, so. That got vented out today. I spoke with Jam Eagle. They're the pipe manufacturer in Wilton, Iowa. They create all that C900 PVC pipe. They're fully on board with giving me tours. They take groups of 5, so if there's more than 5 of us, we'll go to 2 different groups. I told them it'd probably be nicer because they do outside demonstrations, so I said it'd be probably nicer for us to do it when it's a little bit warmer. So then guys, it's kind of like end of March. So if there's any time, end of March, beginning of April, we can all get a group together. Anybody who wants to tag along, then we can go see that process, how that pipe is made, and they can give us like a real scientific background of the security of that pipe pretty much. So I'll keep close contact with them, and then when we get a date set, I'll let you guys know and see who wants to come along with us. It'll probably be like an afternoon adventure, so we can take care of the plant operations and then we can head up to Wilton. So, okay, you guys can leave on that one. Tri-City Electric, they came out to bid me or build a quote for soft starts for each of the well buildings. So as soon as that bid comes in, I'll send that to Nevada, and that can be a discussion later on. The biggest one in question is well number 2, because I know that might be a ticket item where we decommission that well pretty soon. So it'd just be a discussion if we're willing to put money into that well.
Is that on VFD right now?
No,
So it's just
it's
slamming in and.
so it's got a prelude, so it's got like a slow start, and then
Okay.
the stop is just a stop. And it's pretty,
Is there like a fluid clutch or anything, the coupling, or no?
no. So it's, they're grease ports, we can grease them, which we do grease them every 3 months. Yeah, other than that, when you're in there, like, it's just a full stop. So that's why we're kind of looking at soft starts, so we can ramp them up, ramp them down. But well 2 and well 3 are probably looking close to decommission, so that's where we're gonna have to have that discussion if we're willing to put the money towards those ones, because they'll be the 2 most expensive ones to take over or put soft starts into. Because 4 and 5 have the space available. 3 and 2 will have to do some reconfiguration, so there's gonna be a little bit more manpower going into 3 and 2. So when the time comes, those will be something we're to figure out if it's worth putting the money into those 2 buildings.
Okay.
Shared Meadows Apartments, we are starting to run into some issues with their 2-inch meters. Pretty much every week or every month that we do reads, billing A, B, C, D, E, and F, they have something going on. They don't read 1 month, they don't have usage, or they're reading backwards. So even if they're 2-inch meters, if we do those, Shared Meadows, like LLC that is Shared Meadows, they'll actually have to reimburse us for those meters. So I talked to Cindy Arp, who is the manager at Shared Meadows, and I let her know that this is a very high likelihood of ordering those meters. But I just wanted to run that past you guys, because it'll probably be $10,000 to order those 6 meters. And then Superior Plumbing also asked us to keep them in the loop, because they're gonna be looking at replacing the backflow prevention there, because the backflow prevention's original, and they said that they most likely don't work. So that's just something that we're gonna have to be keeping an eye on, the Shared Meadows, just because the meters are starting to be shot. I would starting to see the newer meters, the 25s that go to each apartment, those ones are starting to fail now too. So a lot of things happening in Shared Meadows. Have the main break, and then Tri-City SCADA system, it's fully operational. There's a few things that are different from the SCADA system we're operating on now, so JB with Tri-City is gonna come out this week or next week, and he's gonna go through all the new the new system and all the new things that we're capable of doing with SCADA. So that's finally a project coming to completion.
What days is that set for next week?
The SCADA,
The demonstration and all that?
I guess we haven't really nailed down a date. He wanted to yesterday, but we had the main break. So now it's kind of figuring out when he's available to actually come down and walk it through with us. So if you guys like to be a part of that, you can.
I wouldn't mind taking, I popped by a couple days ago, but you guys were out, but I saw through the window the screens on the desk, and I just wanted to take a look at it as well, so.
Yeah,
As soon as you give me a message if there's a date and maybe if I'm available, I'll come by and take a look. as
Yeah,
well.
definitely. And so he's usually pretty quick about when it's available, so as soon as he is, I'll let you guys know, and anybody that wants to come see what that new system looks like.
Excellent.
So that's what we got going on in the water. Everything's going smooth.
Are you guys' secure locks working yet? The cameras are up for,
Yes,
So-
so the new lock system's fully operational and, yeah, it's going good. Actually, today was really good with backhoe because we were out running around doing stuff and I was able to unlock that door because usually it locks every time you close it. And without giving out a code, I was just able to leave it unlocked for ACO so they can just go in and out without having somebody to be there for them. So it's actually a huge convenience thing already where I don't necessarily have to be around to just have a guy sit there and let somebody in and out. So
Yeah, for the record, I couldn't get in, it was locked.
yes, yes, so there will be one person in each department, and then admin that can remotely control that access.
Okay.
So we'll be able to shut it off immediately, for any code. We'll be able to temporarily open them. We can set times to have them open for public meetings and then locked after that, so it's it'll be a big improvement.
Yeah, that's
very nice.
okay.
That's all I got.
Thank you, Keegan.
Thank you, Keith.
Okay, that's the last item on the list that I have. Number 8 is adjournment. Motion to adjourn?
Motion.
Motion by Peterson. Second by Gooding. Peterson, aye. Aye. Ayes have it. Thank you, everybody. We are adjourned.
6 minutes.